Hi, welcome back. I have this new course on liquid movement because I love the topic and it is a very important part of my movement practice, of light space movement, of my daily movements, and something that has helped me a lot. I did 3 longer videos where I talk about the theory and some examples. I wanted to do now like a mini series of like specific aspects where you can join me, participate, and experience this more. Just a little bit of a recap. What is liquid movement? So liquid movement or fluent movement means different things to different people. To me, it means a very fluent way of moving, a movement with ease, something that looks effortless, which has a lot to do with moving without any extra tension. So this is to me also a very important aspect because you see a lot of people trying to do, for example, yoga styles that are dynamic, but in the end you can tell how the body of them is very tense because you can see it in their muscles. And for me, fluent movement has a lot more to do with ease and with letting go, because once you are soft and relaxed, it's something that not only travels through your own body, but also travels through other people's bodies when they watch you. And it's a beautiful effect. The idea of moving without tension, so without like making specific gestures, but something that comes from the inside out, is something I want to talk about today. Today's session, I will guide you through like a step-by-step sensation and awareness flow practice, something that you can do and integrate into your everyday life. The liquid movement, people call it to move like water, something like this. So it means something fluent, something that rolls through your body. There are 4 very simple steps for you to do that. So let's just get right into it. The first thing that we have to do is to soften. So, for example, if you tense your hand and you move it, it doesn't move. It doesn't look soft and liquidy. But if you soften it, suddenly the movement that you create goes all the way and just rolls through your body. So something where movement can roll through your body. It's easier said than done. It's very easy to say, oh, just relax and stay soft. But we hold on to tension in our bodies a lot of times really subconsciously, unaware that we actually do it. So to learn how to actually soften and relax is something you can practice, which is nice, and something that's a lot of fun. So for example, a lot of times we hold on to tension in our shoulders, and it doesn't mean that it's this. It can just mean like, even now my shoulders are lower, I still hold on to tension. And what I like is to introduce movement, because movement helps you, just as I did with the example of the hand, to see if you actually soften. So for example, if you want to soften your shoulders, what you can do is lean forward a little bit, because then your shoulders will drop forward. Lean back, and your shoulders and arms will pull back. And this is already where you start to notice if you can let go and soften. And a lot of times it's very hard for people, and it's nice to continue with this movement, because the more you do it, the more you can notice how much tension you actually hold on to, and you can soften it and relax. And the idea is really to get the movement come from your core and not from somewhere else, because anytime you use a muscle, you kind of tense it because you obviously use it. So if you can get it more like from your core section, like from your stomach, from your back, it helps you to let go of your shoulders. You can also go to the sides and do like some circular movements, which is also nice, because here again you can roll around in your shoulders. So that's a really nice indicator to see if you're soft. And the second thing I would love to do is to use breath. I love to use as a motif or as a guide for movement. So thinking about water and fluidity, breath is something that always goes in and out, a little bit like waves going back and forth, something that doesn't stop. Like you don't usually stop breathing except if you hold your breath, but then you use a lot of tension. Breathing. What is nice about breathing is it also helps you a lot to see if you're soft, because if you're not soft and you breathe, nothing really moves and it's really hard to breathe, and your breath also gets really shallow. But if you soften and you breathe, movement happens. And not only do I love it because it creates movement in my body, but also it creates what I said before, the moving coming from inside out. We focus on breathing and staying soft, and what happens now is you move. So your ribs get wider, maybe your shoulders lift, and you can use that as a theme and as a guide for your movement. So for example, as you see, I inhale and I go up, and I exhale and I go down. And what is nice about this, it's a continuation. So it's like water that comes and goes again. Now let's use this continuous flow. So we have now softness, we have breath, the third one is continuous flow, and the fourth one is inside out. So movement coming from the inside, going outwards. So instead of the idea of fluent liquid movement where we do things, where we're just like using our hands, doing some gestures, the idea is to have the movement come from inside and roll through your body. So the exercise that we will do now is something that I love to do. We start small. So what we do is we use the breath to create movement and then guide that movement, for example, into one area of your body. So let's start with the right shoulder. So you inhale, the right shoulder goes up, and exhale, softens back down. And then the other shoulder, inhale, and exhale. And you can do this in different ways. You can go straight up. You can also make like a rolling exercise out of it where you inhale and you exhale. And what happens now is you really need to stay soft for movement to happen. And suddenly there is like a flow of movement, because you don't just bring the shoulder up and bring it back down, but it's a movement that comes from inside, continuously going and rolling through your body. All right, so let's continue and just build on this. So again, we start with one side and then just use your whole body to pull you up. So basically, what I'm doing now is I pull my whole body and let it go back down. And then the same thing on the other side. So everything goes with. Just inhale and exhale back down. And again, inhale and exhale back down. All right. So do this a few more times. Just continue to breathe yourself up and see how it pulls you up. And then when you come back down, just sink in a little bit. And if you use your whole body, what happens is your legs, everything stays soft. Inhale and exhale. And exhale. All right. Now, what I want you to do is feel into your body. So you do the same thing and just see which parts in your body move. How does it feel? In which ways are they moving? For example, now, if I do this, I really notice that here I'm expanding, I'm creating more space. And then when I come back down, my focus for what I feel right now in my body is really the softness of sinking in, like really melting into the floor. So this is what